Television. You are the resistance.
Welcome back to the War Room. Owen Schroyer back hosting today. I was able to get away this weekend, took a couple days off, an extended weekend here. And I really have pretty much total mental aptitude and jurisdiction. And so I can go on a trip and truly step away from this, to use the allegory of the blue pill. I can basically blue pill myself back into Arrested Development and be perfectly fine. And it's really an incredible way to kind of go about your day, as we've got Trump and Jean-Claude Juncker speaking right now. In fact, guys, let's go ahead and pause that, because you've got Trump now meeting. I mean, if you want to talk about Trump being a Nazi, can we flash a graphic? This is probably the most proof you have of Trump potentially being a Nazi, as he's meeting with Jean-Claude Juncker, the Nazi heir. So the Nazi party wants to make Europe a strong union run by Germany. Hitler fails. They escape him to Argentina. 50 years later, Jean-Claude Juncker, the heir to the Nazi throne, is back running the EU, run by Germany, Hitler's dream. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. It's just like, and so I'm welcome back to the rabbit hole. Welcome back to the red pill. Like, this is the reality. But so even though I'm living in the blue pill world, to use the they live allegory, I can still see the formaldehyde face. So I still see the formaldehyde face. I still see the propaganda, but I don't really respond to it. It doesn't really affect or influence me. I'm just basically wading through the world and just trying to enjoy my life in Arrested Development. But everything just, it's just crazy. And this is the perfect example where it's like, oh yeah, Jean-Claude Juncker, like, oh yeah, meeting with Trump. And it's like, no. Jean-Claude Juncker has direct ties to the Nazis. He's running the EU, which is run out of Germany, which was Hitler's dream. And then here's the guy who's just pro-Americana, Donald Trump, and they call him Hitler. But the guy to his left right now, or to his right, the left if you're watching on TV, he's above it all, though. He's the actual guy with the Nazi ties, but nobody even knows who that guy is. In fact, let's just go live right now to the Nazi family Junckers,
John, you're here,
who run the EU, meeting with Trump.
John, thank you. Senator Mike Crapo. Thank you, Mike. Senator Steve Daines. Senator Hoeven. Thank you. They're all here. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. Cindy,
by the way,
thank you very
apparently
much.
the nature of this
Senator
meeting
James
was
Lankford.
regarding trade.
James. Thank you, James. Senator Pat Roberts. He loves those farms. He loves the farmers like I do.
Yeah, Trump just signed a $2 billion farm aid bill.
Thank you. Representative Kevin Brady with our new tax bill. How's it coming, Kevin? Good. Representative Mike Conaway. Mike. Thank you, Mike. Representative Dan Newhouse. Thank you, Dan. Representative Kristi Noem. I have to call her governor now.
Like, if you had real
That was a great
protesters,
win.
they'd be
Christy.
protesting Juncker, saying Nazi go home.
David
It
Reichert.
just shows you how ignorant they are.
David, thank you. So we had a big day, very big. We met right here at the White House to launch a new phase in the relationship between the United States and the European Union, a phase of close friendship, of strong trade relations.
So
in which
close, in
both of us
fact,
will
we're
win.
going to destroy it. We don't like the EU at all.
For global security and prosperity, and of fighting jointly against terrorism. The United States and the European Union together count for more than 830 million citizens and more than 50% of the global GDP. In other words, together we're more than 50% of trade. If we
now,
team
here's
up,
the funny
we
thing,
can make
which
our
was
planet
mentioned
better, more
in
secure,
the
more
segment
prosperous place.
prior to this, where Russian TV, they're talking about, and again, like if you listen to InfoWars, we've already told you this, the EU was set up to bring America down. You could not compete with American prosperity, independence, and freedom. You could not do it. So they had to make the EU end European nation sovereignty, make the EU to compete capital and GDP-wise with the United States of America, but it didn't work. Here, let's go back to Trump momentarily.
Industrial goods. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will also work to reduce barriers and increase trade in services, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, medical products, as well as soybeans. Soybeans is a big deal.
Yeah, send the
And
soy over to Europe. We don't
Union
need it
is
here.
going to start almost immediately.
Oh, yeah. That
to
was
buy a lot
Jean-Claude
of
Juncker
soybeans.
over
They're
the weekend. Was he drunk? There was a rumor he was drunk. He couldn't stand on his own. He had to go in for a little extra sugar there.
Midwest, primarily. So I
All
thank
right.
you for that, Jean-Claude.
All right, so you've got President Trump holding a joint press conference with Jean-Claude Juncker, the European Commission president, who, if you really wanted to say anyone was a Nazi, I mean, look at this guy. He's so drunk at NATO, he can't even stand on his own 2 feet. Almost fell down the staircase there. Oh, you don't think Trump knew how drunk he was? This guy.